He was considered the ugly duckling not meant for the sky. He was nicknamed the Warthog because of his not-so-attractive shape. He was assigned only a secondary role and nothing significant was expected from him. But appearances can be deceiving.
This aircraft is used in many military conflicts.
In the end, it became an iconic aircraft in its class.
It is equipped with enormous power and a cannon.
And its once derogatory nickname has become a household name. By the way, it is possible that it will soon appear in the skies over Ukraine.
This machine may not be new, but it is reliable and has proven itself.
The Fairchild Republic A-10 began its history in the 70s. That was the golden era of jet engines. Airplanes were becoming faster and their capabilities were increasing. At that time, the Soviet Air Force was actively mastering third-generation combat aircraft. And the USA was launching its legendary North American into the sky. The A-5 Vigilante, the only supersonic carrier-based bomber in aviation history. But despite the beginning of the race for supersonic air supremacy between the USSR and the USA, the latter did not forget about the much slower short-range aircraft at that time. And not without reason, because it was precisely these that would ultimately help the United States achieve victory in more than one military conflict. After the war, the USA and its allies saw the need for a new class of attack aircraft. Attack aircraft are usually designed to strike ground targets with higher precision. In fact, the Americans wanted to obtain a relatively inexpensive attack aircraft that was supposed to have a speed of at least 650 km/h, high maneuverability at low altitude, the ability to operate from unpaved airfields, and powerful armament. The new Steelbird of the Air Force also had to be economical and easy to maintain. As a result, after much deliberation, the choice of the United States Air Force fell on a single-seat twin-engine attack aircraft, the A-10, Thunderbolt II from Fairchild, United Republic. With a length of 16 meters and a wingspan of 17.5 meters with a load of 13 tons, this sturdy aircraft could stay in the air for hours performing its main task, providing cover for infantry. After being commissioned into the Air Force, the A-10 Warthog was long regarded as the ugly duckling. Due to its appearance, which earned it the nickname Warthog, pilots were not particularly eager to take the controls of this odd-looking aircraft. The Air Force even considered how to get rid of it, proposing to use the F-16 as an attack aircraft instead. However, everything changed when the Thunderbolt had the chance to prove itself in action.
The Thunderbolt II, nicknamed the Warthog due to its not-so-attractive shape. This is an attack aircraft, primarily designed to provide close air support, which means supporting ground troops. Unlike multi-role fighters, it can carry a larger payload, such as bombs, missiles, and fuel tanks, and is also much cheaper to maintain. And it's not as complex to operate as the F-16.
With a maximum speed of 722 km/h and a cruising speed of 585 km/h, the Thunderbolt is ready to provide air support over nearly 1,000 kilometers and reconnaissance missions over more than 800 kilometers. And all of this is managed by a single pilot. These combat capabilities are ideal for conducting operations on the front line, which the A-10 has proven in practice. It was there, according to legend, that the A-10 earned the nickname Warthog. The sound of its gun was very similar to the roar of a wild boar.
This aircraft has been used in many military conflicts, including during the Vietnam War. It was used.
This very gun, among other things, helped the Warthog during Operation Desert Storm to destroy as many as 900 tanks, 200 artillery systems, and over 2,000 combat vehicles. But let's return to the legendary A-10 cannon. Its caliber is an impressive 30 millimeters. Released under the designation GAU-8, it was specifically designed and meticulously engineered for the Warthog, commonly known as the A-10 Thunderbolt II, and is one of the most incredibly powerful and remarkably effective artillery systems ever installed on American aircraft. In fact, the entire aircraft is built around its main weapon, weighing 1.8 tons. The Thunderbolt fires approximately 65 rounds per second and can incredibly penetrate tanks at a distance of 1,200 meters with ease in total.
The A-10 is equipped with an enormously powerful cannon, a 30mm 7-barrel gun firing 6,000 rounds per minute, allowing it to destroy tanks with artillery fire on the battlefield or on the move.
This cannon was tested during the development of the aircraft itself. It tested on Soviet T-62 tanks, and in principle with this cannon, these tanks were completely destroyed. We can imagine how powerful this weaponry is. In fact, one of the most powerful large caliber machine guns is installed on the aircraft.
Besides the impressive cannon, the Thunderbolt also has a serious, highly advanced and sophisticated array of weapons under its wings. It comprehensively includes both air-to-air and air-to-ground missile control, such as well as unguided weapons.
The payload that the aircraft can carry is approximately about 7 tons, with 11 attachment points. These allow for the use of various munitions, including guided aerial bombs, such as the Jaden kits and other advanced technologies, for example. Furthermore, speaking of the various modifications and enhancements that have been meticulously applied to this aircraft since the early 1990s, the operational range has been significantly expanded to allow for the effective use of a variety of unguided rockets, such as the well-known and widely used Zuni, and this comprehensive upgrade includes the integration and use bombs with guidance heads, including the use of laser guidance from the aircraft or, for example, by ground guidance teams such as those on the field run and in various terrains.
Meanwhile, it's practically impossible to shoot down the American Warthog. Returning to base on one engine with half the tail assembly, one elevator, and half a wing is standard for the Thunderbolt. It's the norm. The aircraft was designed with invulnerability in mind from the outset. Thanks to the durability of the structure and the backup control systems for the aircraft and engine, of which there are 3, 2 hydraulic and 1 manual. It has an armored pilot cabin as well as additional partial protective shielding for the engines and certain control elements. CD. According to the documents, the attack aircraft system should withstand a hit from a 23mm shell and be invulnerable to 57mm meter-long fragmentation shells.
The A-10, known for its role in assault missions, is designed to deliver fragmentation munitions effectively, making it a key asset in combat. In terms of support directly on the battlefield, and shells are beautiful, often found on beaches.
Let's just talk a little bit more about the overall cost of the Warthog itself, and importantly, the expenses for its maintenance. Back in the distant year of 1967, the cost of one aircraft was $4,100,000, or $16.25 million in today's prices. At the same time, the flight hour of the standard Bolt cost the American budget an average of $17,000, which is significantly cheaper than its counterparts. Speaking of the latter,
in principle, if we talk specifically about this aircraft, then it's difficult to compare it with anything, because it has a rather specific fuselage configuration, engine placement, and overall quite high thrust-to-weight ratio. Therefore, there are probably no direct analogs today. However, it is often compared to the Soviet Su-25 Grach aircraft, which is also a frontline bomber. Overall, that's probably the most I can say. Its closest relative in terms of an opponent was created by the Soviet Union.
although both of these aircraft and Tansi are almost contemporaries from the 70s, they were already quite different from each other back then. If we compare survivability, meaning the ability to withstand enemy fire, then the American aircraft comes out on top. The thickness of the titanium armor on the A-10 is up to 38 mm compared to 24 mm US-27. Additionally, the A-10 is more intelligently designed. Unlike the Soviet Su-25, it is ready to fly with the simultaneous loss of one engine and half of its tail. The Su-25 also can't keep up with the armament of the overseas attacker. With similar capabilities, the Soviet counterpart indeed carries under its wing much lesser effective munitions.
Although it also has 11 suspension points, its thrust-to-weight ratio is actually half as much, and it amounts to just over 4 tons.
The American loses to the Su-25 only in terms of maximum and cruising speed. Therefore, since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, Ukraine has been considering the A-10 as an opportunity to significantly strengthen its position in the sky. Especially since for the USA, this equipment is already outdated, and most of it is in storage.
Judging by what we might potentially receive, I would deliberate on the A-10 as an option, only if they are handed over to us. Because this machine, although not new, is dependable and trustworthy and time-tested, and it has proven itself in many armies, and it also has a wide range of weaponry designed to destroy ground targets in the interest of infantry.
This recent news and developments has caused even more panic, confusion, and uncertainty among the occupiers. Hundreds or even a couple of these birds in the sky can scare anyone, especially since shooting down an American Warthog is practically impossible. And after seeing the next video, they were absolutely and utterly shaken.
Look, I got in this house is the Barmenkovsky bridgehead near Izium and Polsava Kharkiv region. A-10 Thunderbolt. Truly what a beauty, indeed.
Of course, it's clear that this is just computer graphics, but who knows, Lend-Lease, it's a delicate matter. Agree, certainly. At one time, even American tilt rotors in the sky over Kyiv seemed absolutely like something out of science fiction. Did you like the video? Then definitely give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to our amazing channel so you absolutely don't miss any of the exciting new episodes of Arsenal.